Hello everybody, welcome back. I know you missed the sound of my voice, so here I am. So if you've been keeping up, you'll notice that I posted episode 14, episode 14B. Now this one's going to be episode 14C. Reason being is I wanted to finally tackle completing one entire character in Blender. Sculpted, painted, UV mapped, rigged, the whole nine. Now so far I haven't UV mapped it yet because I need to do another important step. I need to take this quote unquote high poly, well it's not really quote unquote high, but it's a high poly mesh. It's just not beautiful. It's not like the most perfect like Blender sculpt you've ever seen. But for me, this is the best I've ever done. I'm really proud of them shoes. Look at them kicks, bro. Look at this. Look at these sneakers. Come on. What are these, Nike Air 1s or something? I don't know. They look good. They look clean. But anyway, I need to take this high poly mesh and I need to do a process known as baking. And no, it's not wake and bake. We're going to be baking this high poly mesh, the normals of the high poly mesh, and bake it onto a low poly mesh. But right now you're saying, wait a minute, there's only one mesh here, this high poly mesh. Yes, and that's where I am going to be crying in a few minutes because I've done this before, but nothing on this extravagant. Now before I actually go in and do that, what I want to do is just go over each piece, go in the sculpt mode, and just make sure everything is smooth. I don't want to depend just on the shade smooth aspect. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to reduce the power of this to like 0.3 or whatever. And just go over everything, which I'm doing right now. So we're going to make sure everything is smooth. There's no weird lumps like this. I don't know why that's happening, but we can do. It happens sometimes. Anyway, we're going to go in, we're going to smooth out what we can. I don't know why this is not responding. Usually you can like highlight one piece. Oh, it's because we already had it. Perfect. And we're gonna go in, we're just gonna clean up these faces. Let's go in on this one right here. Let's smooth this out. Let's bring it up a little bit more. Smooth that out. Go down here, smooth this out. Let's go down to here. I think I already did most of it, right? Again, just going in to make sure like this is okay. It's not the rest. Again, this is all learning, just figuring out this whole process. Let me just get back here a little bit behind these pants. Why does it look like it's not doing nothing? Oh, wait a minute. Do I have duplicates here? Yeah, that's what was happening. Here we go. Okay, smoother now. I think I accidentally duplicated before the whole collection. I did do a test just to see what would happen. I didn't want to look too bad here. But just smooth, smooth, smooth. I want to make sure there's no jaggeds that end up in the normal map. Because what's going to happen is when you bake the high poly, what you're doing is you're creating a normal map that's going to go over the low poly. And it's supposed to make it where it's indistinguishable that it's a low poly mesh. And it's supposed to look as though it's this character on the screen, but in reality, it's a very low poly mesh. Again, trying to keep this fairly What's I'm looking for? Stylized here. Kind of give it that cartoony-esque feel to it. Because I want the game to still be fun looking. I don't want it to be super serious and all that. So let's do a good cut straight down the line here. Not too strong. That's fine. That little detail right there. So that's what this bake is supposed to do. It's supposed to take details like that, like this little cut in the pants, and it's supposed to imprint it onto the low poly, right? Okay, it's looking good. So now let's, yeah, because after we bake onto the low poly, then I gotta go UV map the low poly and then do the painting on there. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing the painting now or after. I think after, because the UV maps are gonna get all wild. So there's a tool that I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna duplicate this collection. So now high poly, this one obviously we're gonna call low poly. So now what's gonna happen is let's go to the layout. We're gonna take each of these pieces, right? Can I leave these together? Make sure there's no modifier. Okay, apply modifier. I don't think there's any more modifiers except for these pieces here. This is not on a modifier. So let's start with the head. So there's a tool in the data properties, object data properties, called the Quadrifflow Remesh. Now what this is supposed to do, it's going to take this high poly and then give it some nice topology using quads. But before I can make that work, I learned that I have to put a smooth corrective modifier, and only smooth. Let's apply. And this will ensure that the Quadrifflow Remesher will work. Now, number of phases I have it on 20,000. Before was a bit high, so let's put it on 10,000 and let's remesh. And hopefully it retains some decent shape. Okay, so what happened here? That's weird. Why did it do it like that? Also broke the middle. So I'm thinking that this might not be the way to go. Don't look bad. It just don't look good. Oh, but the shade smooth is okay. I wonder if I run it through again, what will happen? Let's do 5,000. Well, this was a test. So it looks like I'm going to have to go in and use a shrink wrap method. So it's something that I've seen. I have never done this before. So 99% chance I am going to... so let me put this inside of a collection. That's weird. Why did everything leave? There it is. It's a shrink wrap modifier, and you build your mesh out around. Sort of like poly box modeling. Sorry. So I'm gonna go silent now while I investigate a little bit on how to do that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so what I just encountered was using some extra add-ons. So one add-on was loop tools, and I don't know if you see my screen pop up, but on the get extensions I typed in loop and I saw loop tools. I had to install that. I had to install F2, and it extends the make edge face. And also I had to get, what's it called, Bsurfaces GPL edition. So now what's gonna happen is in sculpt mode, I'm gonna go to this edit tab and you're gonna see this Bsurfaces tool. And basically I have to initialize this mesh and it's gonna create this new mesh. What I saw online was I have to click in front. Now if you notice, it creates this shrink wrap, and for the most part that is the setup. What we got to do is come here and let's just start drawing some edges. And this is pretty much going to be the beginning of making the low poly version of this mesh. And once you have these lines, you click add surface. Oh wait, let me add another one here. Let's click add surface. Guess we can connect that later. And we can control how many of these we get. So I'm going to keep it simple for now. And I'm going to do that. I don't know why I didn't close it there. I'm not there yet. So let's go back around. I wonder why it stopped there. Is it because of size? Let's see. Oh, there's a few other things we had to do. So we had the snapping with the in front. You could change the color. There was something about back face culling. I think that was part of the, so let's do, I think we have to put the mirror modifier, put the clipping on. I think it was in the view, somewhere in the view there was something about back face culling. Oh, here, back face culling. I wonder why it didn't add that surface there. Yeah, that's so weird. Let's put that mirror back. Let's clip. Guess we could use this as the object. And add surface. Let's keep that short. What does this follow do? Oh. So now how do we edit surface? Oh, okay, cool, that worked. I didn't really want this extra one there. Let's merge. So no, let's merge that last. No, you know, let's leave it there for now. Let's keep playing around with this. But now if you notice, what it's doing is it's pretty much laying it right up against the high poly mesh. Right? So basically you got to go draw these lines and just keep drawing where we want polygons to be. And what's great about this is all of the loops, all the loop cuts and everything, you are in charge of that. The machine, the Blender is not deciding any of that. So now if I want to add more edges, what we have to do is select an edge, press D, and Oh yeah, I have to hold down the. Yep. And to delete, how do I delete? To delete, hold D and right mouse button. Okay, so what we can start doing is start working on edges. So for example, let's take this top edge here, and we could use it the same way where we extrude up, and it should keep snapping that against the mesh. Oh, that's lovely. So let's go out one more. We can modify pixels. For example, let's move that here like this. And for example, we can keep going with this. Again, I don't want it to be too high, low poly. But let's go a little bit longer of a run here. Longer of a run, longer of a run. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's good. Now, another thing I read, well, not really read, I was watching a video. If I press this and hit F, yep, select the corner vertex, and you start to get a face to come out like that. So now let's grab these edges here. So I'm gonna go out with that. I'm gonna make this loop all the way around. Follow that edge. Let's start straightening out these vertexes. So this is the whole process where we're gonna take this mesh from that high poly to low poly, and we're just gonna keep looping around. And areas like this where you want this nice sharp edge, you're gonna keep that close. Now, we don't have to worry about that nostril hole, because the whole point of this is the normal maps are gonna control details like that. So here we're literally just focusing on this, creating this type of setup. Now I don't know how I'm gonna make the vertexes merge. I don't know if it auto merges or not. Yeah, let me see. Let me look into that real quick. So what I learned is if you look up here, auto merge vertices, that controls all of that for us. So for example, if I select these remaining edges and let's say I bring this in, it auto merged right there, which is absolutely frigadilly amazing. I just came up with that word, frigadilly. Oh yeah, that's nice. Okay, so let's, this is gonna be so great. I've been looking for a tool like this my whole life. Not my whole life, but ever since I started getting into doing 3D game designs and character development stuffs. Oh, so I have an issue here. So that got too close there. So what I want to do is I want this to go around as well. So this, we're going to have to figure this out. So let's bring this one more right there. Let's slide this out a bit as to not get too dangerously close there. And we need to make sure we keep our mesh using quads. how am I gonna solve this one? So let's see, I'm gonna keep going around like this. I really don't want to put a triangle anywhere. Let's see, let's bring this over there. Bring this here. Well, that didn't snap there. Okay. So let's move this in one. So now this is gonna go there. It's gonna go there. One. Yeah, okay. I think that will work. So let's bring that there. This here. And bring this there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just reposition. Just reposition some of these. Now, a recommendation that the person in the video was saying was to every so often, you're going to want to duplicate your shrink wrap and then apply. Why can't I apply it? Interesting, why I can't do that. Is it because I was in the sculpt mode? Yeah. So let's go back to sculpt mode and I should be able to continue. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. So now what I'm going to do here, do I just select the Bsurface mesh? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna get rid of that, hold D and erase. Oh, no. Oh, I guess it's okay at this point. Okay, so let's start working our way down with this. That there. In the middle and another. Yeah, let's just go there, right? Okay. This has a bit more detail, so we gotta work our way around that. Alright, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go silent until pretty much the whole mesh is low polyed. And then we'll go from there. So hang tight and keep watching. Hello, hello. All right, I am back. So now let's take a look at what we got here. So, as you witnessed, I ran into a couple issues. There were a couple situations where it felt like things were getting a little hairy. But let's take a look and compare. So, on the left, we have the low poly. Let's unshade it smooth. And, well, that's weird. Why is that happening? If anybody knows why that's happening, that's pretty weird. Oh, I think because I have it in front, maybe? Yeah, no, that's freaking me out. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think for some reason this thing is kept in front. I gotta figure out why. Give me one moment. Alright, it seems that I figured out the issue. So I was going pretty really crazy. So notice how I can move this mesh, and so I gotta figure this other thing out where I'm seeing the inside of the low poly mesh through the high poly mesh. No idea what's happening there, but the other issue I was having was I didn't realize I had snapping on, and whenever I was moving, it was aligning itself to the other mesh. So I undid that. Now, this whole thing, I got no idea. All I can imagine is something to do with maybe this being halfway, but yeah, I got no idea. And like, I don't understand why every time I mirror, I get this damn line in the middle. And every time I see people do it, I don't get that. There's always something. There's always something. Very frustrating at times. Like, I don't know why the top of the head is not aligned. It's set to geometry. Yeah, I don't know what that's about. I think because I have the mirror. Let's bring this back. This should go back to alignment. I don't think I moved it that much. There we go. So yeah, for some reason I could see through this mesh whenever that mesh is visible. I ain't got the slightest. Was that it? Backface culling? Shouldn't that work the other way? I am not knowing. Anyway, let's keep going. So let's put the mirror modifier. Let's see if we get that same thing, and we do. No idea. But let's go into the edit mode. Let's see if we can just pull these vertexes in some direction. So let's see, let's put clipping on. Now with clipping, that should go away. Did it go away? See, for some reason it still looks sharp there. See, I don't like that I can still see that line. It makes absolutely no sense why this line exists. Has nothing to do with that. Clip and don't fix it. What's going on down here? I think that has to do with when I put the mirror modifier and it had the clipping on. Oof. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's a mess down there. What is going on? Delete this vertex, delete that, this and this. So now again, I think I gotta take out the back face culling. Does this have back face culling? Okay, so mirror, and it's got that line. You know, instead of doing that, let's remove this. Let's duplicate this. Now let's do no, it didn't work. Is there any way to mirror it without? How would I do this? To make two separate objects. So let's see. Mirror X. Before we put that, set origin to 3D cursor. Is it like a flip modifier? Now let's put the mirror. So get the mirror going. Let's hide this. See, that shouldn't be happening. So let's do merge by distance. Yeah, I am not certain as to what is going on here. Well, let's see, do we want to make it permanent? No. Okay, let's make this permanent. And then, could be an issue with normals, maybe. So I keep reading that the reason why that happens is because there's an inner face somewhere, but I don't think there's any kind of interior face. But let's see what we could find. So I'm going to go top view, X-ray, edit mode. So let's see if I grab any kind of face. Was it because of that alignment? I don't see any interior faces. Mystery meat. Mystery. This is confusing the ever-living daylights out of me. There's no inside faces. All I'm doing is a mirror modifier, and this don't make sense. Hold on. So it looks like I may have found the issue. So I've been going across the middle, analyzing the seam, and I found these stray vertexes here just chilling. So let's delete these and see what happens. Yeah, I don't know how this even happened, but looks like we're making some progress. So merge center. So of course I had to go and mess up the whole thing to make it work, but what you gonna do? So let's go back out before putting the mirror. Let's see if I can even backspace enough. No, okay, so let's go back to this phase, and let's just is there more just stray vertexes here? I don't understand where are these all coming from. That is so weird. I got no idea where all these vertexes are coming from. And now I gotta reposition these. Okay, not bad. So now let's put the mirror modifier again. Clipping on. Let's get this center line. Let's shift out and in. So this should clear the heavy line. Let's go out, let's see, and nope. still some lines. Let's see, maybe recalculating normals. No idea what causes that. That's weird. This is very, very, very annoying. Just when you think you're done, nope. Alright, so let's maybe merge by distance again. Could have sworn I did that earlier. So this should have grabbed. Merge vertices by distance. Whoa. So let's see. Are there any stray vertexes here? It's crazy. I gotta go one by one here. I don't even know how those extra vertexes got there. That is quite interesting. It seems that we got them all. So I don't know why it's not cooperating now. I don't even know why shade flat is not working. A lot of weird stuff happening right now. There's no modifiers. You can't shade flat. Guess I'll figure this out tomorrow. Alright, so sorry I had to move the mic. It appears as though I found the issue. Something to do with face orientations. So I guess I have to go to edit mode, go to mesh, normals, and flip. It still doesn't answer why this is always in front. I could have sworn that was gonna fix it. This is absolutely horrible. I do not have the slightest idea of what is going on. Guess if anybody has any idea, I am completely at a loss. Okay, it appears I found the error. So here in the object properties, I had in front clicked, which explains why I was always in front. I don't even remember clicking this. I could have accidentally pressed some sort of hotkey. I'm just really not sure, but got that solved, and I'm going to continue working on this. So what I'm going to do is continue creating a low poly version of all of the parts, and then I'll come back when it's time to bake and rig. So please stay tuned, and my apologies for all these errors. So thank you very much, and see you next time.